Demise for the -3 rushing yards for fucking, so it didn't affect Mahomes' stats. What a crock of shit, dude.
Loved every moment of it. The legend came in.
Love to see the mustache out there, though. We'll say that. Welcome, everybody. What a great day to be a football fan. Tuesday, 10/21. If you combine those numbers, they equal 31, which is how old I am. And it might be the best week of the year for me. Best week of my 31st year. As always, I'm the Duke, and with me is Billy, and welcome to Fly on the Play. I know that's a bit of an extended intro, but it was a big week in the NFL, and I'm really excited to start talking about it.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned some numbers there. We're going to go over a game that I am fully convinced says, hey, the NFL is 100% scripted. Once we get there, I'll try to find some info to back that up. But yeah, no, that? Big week.
Do you want to start with what's the sham? So we have not, just to give everybody a little heads up, we have not talked prior to this. Like, I was a little bit late coming in, dinner with the family or whatever. So I came into this and we pretty much immediately have not talked about this week at all. So I have no idea what old Billy's thinking here.
Yeah. So we can certainly kick off the entire thing with it.
Yeah, dude, I really want to hear this. Listen, I love a good conspiracy. If
there's been a whole lot of things that have happened over the years, right? You know,
a lot of them centering around your team.
Yeah, that's true too. This one does not. Last year's Super Bowl, Chiefs were 15-2. One of the most dominant teams in football. We weren't high scoring, but we're just unstoppable. We'd somehow get absolutely clobbered in the Super Bowl. I won't stop saying that until we win it this year.
Can I guess? Can I guess what the thing you're going to talk about is? Because I really don't know.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Is it the Broncos' 33-point fourth quarter against the New York Giants?
100%.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
100%. So I just did a search on it. I wish I'm getting really bad at this. Sometimes I screenshot shit or save the photo, but 33 points in the fourth quarter in the comeback. Demaryius Thomas died at 33 years old. 33 seconds left on the clock when the game-winning drive began. He was just recently inducted into their Hall of Fame or the Ring of Fame that day.
I didn't know how deep this goes.
A lot of things surrounding a lot of 33s, and he's inducted that same day into their Ring of Honor against, I mean, they were done. This game was over. I mean, there's a lot of people out there going, you know, the Broncos are easily the best in the West. It's not, we're not even talking. It's not even close. The Chargers are failing as the Chargers do. The Chiefs are on the rise, and the Broncos just last week came off a game where they barely won 13-11 against the Jets, arguably the worst team in the NFL outside of the Raiders, right? So where are we getting that the Broncos are good? And then all of a sudden, Bo Nix, I'm liking quarterback competition. I can hate these guys all I want, but Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and then you start adding in Jared Goff. Dak Prescott having a great season is good for football. Good quarterbacks are good for football, even if I am a Mahomes fan, hoping he wins MVP every year. But Bo Nix is a bad fucking quarterback. In my division or not, he is not a good quarterback. And now out of nowhere, we just get a 33-point comeback. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it at all.
I will say it might be one of the craziest stats, and I'm doing quick math here looking at the box score. The Broncos scored 22 points in 4 minutes.
Right.
Actually, closer to 3 minutes because the first touchdown came at 5:13. The last touchdown came at 1:51. So it's not.
I think
it's not. It's closer to 3 minutes than 4 minutes. That's
I think I have
nuts.
seen.
That is nuts.
I think I've seen Kansas City score 3 touchdowns within like a few minutes. It was insane, but there was but we're talking, it was a kick return for a touchdown. Then we intercepted the ball and got a touchdown. And then something else happened. And but this was peak. Like, I don't want to say peak because I still, maybe he hasn't reached yet. Hopefully he hasn't reached yet. This was like high flying offense Mahomes. This was Mahomes that everybody is hoping is what we're about to start seeing, or at least if you're a Chiefs fan or at least a football fan and appreciate it. That's old Mahomes with Tyreek Hill, who was just unstoppable at that point. We're talking about Bo Nix. That was 27 of fucking 50. He threw 50 fucking passes. J.K. Dobbins must have had like a big carry. He was 14 for 81.
It's like completion percentage wise, 52%, 51%.
Yeah. Like there's just nothing good here. And the Giants were just having their way with them. Defensively, offensively. Jackson Dart, he still looks like a 12-year-old child trying to impress his parents and his fucking middle school girlfriend out there. But he was their defense, which I think Broncos do have a pretty good defense. Their defense was making Jackson Dart and Mr. Scattaboo look like fucking football gods out there. And yet they, out of nowhere, they're like, well, it's kind of the same thing. I take it back. Like you said, surrounding my team. I take it back to how are the Chiefs up almost 21-0 against the Bengals in the AFC Championship and then didn't score a single fucking point after that. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. This one, it's got too much writing on it. Last year in the Super Bowl, it was Saquon and Cooper DeJean. I think it was both of their birthdays last year. And, it's the story of Saquon finally getting to a good team. I mean, I'm starting to believe it. And again, as I've stated before on the show, I need the Chiefs to start writing checks. If we're just scripting these games out, I need these checks to start fucking getting cashed because I want the Kansas City back. I want the Kansas City that I've been dealing with.
If does this give any... I don't know how to phrase this. So if you're willing to believe that maybe the NFL is scripted, are you then willing to retrospectively say that maybe the Chiefs did have the benefit of some off the field shenanigans?
Look, I've said I don't think it's off the field. I think it's on the field shenanigans. Or I guess in your case, off the field, somebody is playing puppet master.
The handshakes were shook off.
Right.
The
sure.
field.
Hey, sure. I mean, when we look at it, we brought it up long before we started doing this podcast. So I think there was a game between both teams, and I think flooded Discord with 85 videos of Chiefs holding, and obviously Jawan Taylor going false start every other play, and none of this shit getting called. I think this is either last year or the year before. And look, that shit happens in the NFL. This does not. This is the largest comeback in NFL history with Bo Nix and Mr. fucking Sean Payton. Like, it's not feasible. There's nothing that team is not good. And I don't know how they've been put on the pedestal. Is it the Walmart money coming in? Maybe that's like, hey boys, it's our time. I mean, we got a lot of money. What do y'all need?
Receding hairline over here. Yeah. I mean, potentially,
receding.
Yeah, dude.
Take a look, buddy.
We're getting
that shit's back here.
It's getting bad, dude. I don't know. I'm just
welcome to the club.
Trying to get it to the side or whatever.
This was me at 21, my guy. Okay.
That's fucking tight. Oh, I didn't put my hold on, I gotta make it look like I do football stuff. Anyhow.
Crazy game.
I like this take. I like the conspiracy in the NFL. That being said, I mean, I am emotional when the Bengals lose and during a Bengals loss, and then retrospectively, I am generally pretty objective. Um, there are missed calls in a lot of games. I don't know how the Giants. I don't know if you're the Giants. This is my thing. I would love to believe that games are rigged because that just would be pure theater for me.
Makes too much, and it makes too much sense, right? At the end of the day.
But knowing how competitive the players are, I just don't.
It's hard to
that they would throw.
It's hard to imagine a world like that, right? You grow up as a child, somebody that's going to probably play professional football unless you're a kicker from another country or something. Growing up wanting to play professional football, that's what you are. That's what's coached.
Playing organized sports as a kid, like it's like you.
Right.
I don't want to lose.
That's what's coached as a kid, right? Being competitive, good sportsmanship, stuff like that. When you're younger, it's not always about wins and losses because you could be a phenomenal player and the whole rest of your team sucks. For me, when I was a kid playing football, I was not the phenomenal player. I was the part of the rest of the team that sucked, right? But we had good players on our team, and our team as a whole sucked. So I think our best year, we won 2 games. Like, that's just kind of how it happens. But you learn to be competitive. Anybody playing anything, really, any sort of game, at some point, you are a competitive by nature person. And I agree with you. This is something that got brought up, I think, on the Kelsey podcast, New Heights, or I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Last year, because of the stuff surrounding the Chiefs. Like, is what do you have to say, Travis? And then, Jason also speaking, like, to these games being rigged. And that was the big point. It's like, I think that'd be hilarious because you're telling me you're convincing these ultra competitive, hyper fucking superhuman beings to say, yeah, it's theirs because they're check cashed.
I don't think
whatever the case may be.
So I think that this is something that definitely works in basketball. Point shaving can be a thing in basketball. I think when it's a sport that is involved, like a single player cannot have the impact in football unless it's the quarterback, or let's just say like a corner. Like if you're a corner, you can just like throw coverages so that
get
like
burnt every play.
Yeah. But eventually you're going to get benched, right? And then like same thing, like kind of the same thing with a quarterback, unless you're an established guy. And if you're an established guy, you're getting paid so much money to do well. It's doubtful that anybody would come in with enough money to say like, hey, play bad.
Right.
And risk your long-term income for this like short-term benefit. Basketball, like I said, I can see it happening. And I think that's why the salaries in basketball are so astronomically high, like for good players, is because I think partially goes into the fact that individuals can have such a large impact on the game in basketball, like winning or losing, and you're trying to take that like temptation out of it. I don't think
what is basketball 5v5 too versus 11 on 11? Like,
yeah. It's
a wildly different.
But like it's like 5v5 and you're all doing the same thing. Not like right. In that way. There are a lot of intricacies. It's a very complex game.
Sure.
But like generally speaking,
at the end of the day, basketball needs to go into the goal, and if you're not
anybody could
basketball,
do that.
You got to block.
Like, and anybody could do that or not do it, right? So anybody on a basketball team can score or not score. There are too many like facets in the NFL, like too many different jobs that don't have the same goal. Like a defensive lineman goal is to get the quarterback, play contain on a mobile quarterback or on a running back or something like that, versus like a safety whose goal is like, don't let this receiver go over the top of me, or like whatever, rally, make a tackle. So like I think there's just too many different individual little jobs that people have to do for one player to have the type of impact necessary. It would have to be a mass collusion event, which is what that's what I can't buy in on.
Yeah. And just real quick to play devil's advocate right here. Speaking of basketball, last year, none of that was scripted. Obviously, OKC dominated the entire league. We are the champions. Okay. So, outside of that, I mean, you've been a benefactor also multiple times over, even in your own lifetime.
Twice in my lifetime. Twice in my lifetime.
Twice in your lifetime. Okay.
2008 or 2008,
We are in the midst of basketball season. Maybe we'll start including some of at least our own team scores and notable things like we kind of do with the college thing. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
If you're the Giants, you have to be embarrassed, right? Like you can't.
Yeah.
Especially in like.
Well, they also need to get a new kicker. I mean, that's something. Like the quarterback. Is, like how can you?
You have the points. Like you just have to play like a possession game, right? You need like if you get 2 first downs per possession, and let's just say that you run the clock, right? When you get 40 seconds per down, if you stretch it out over like 3 downs, like
did you watch this game by chance?
I didn't.
So the Giants were throwing the ball quite a bit towards the end, if I remember correctly.
So if you're able to secure first downs and you're running the play clock out, you're basically excuse me. You can take 5 minutes off the clock if you get 2 first downs a drive. If you 100% milk it, like you don't get a first down on a like a second down play and stuff like that. But you should be shedding like 2.5 minutes off the clock minimum per drive. So if you're telling me that you're up by like 20 points with 10 minutes left let's just say 5 minutes left in the game, you're up 26 to 8 at 10-14, right? So they had to score 1, 2, 3 touchdowns and a field goal. So they needed 4 possessions. So whatever 10 minutes, divided by 4 would be, quick math, like 2.5. Yeah, that goes down to like 2.5 minutes per possession. That's like almost exactly it. So if you're milking the clock for 2.5 minutes on every possession, just average, doesn't have to be like one possession you can do like 5 minutes, one possession you can do 30 seconds, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, like, you got to win that game. Like you know what the goal is. You just got to play clock management. And I didn't watch the game. You're saying the play calling was it was heavy, pass heavy.
Yeah, I think they were doing a lot of heavy passing, and then defensively they were, doing some dumb stuff. If I'm not mistaken, there were some PIs that got the Broncos down the field. Because again, the Broncos they're not that good. I mean, if you're throwing 50 fucking passes and you're only getting 279 yards, like 279 yards in today's NFL is not a terrible stat. It's the 50 passes that go with it. Like you're not averaging a whole lot there. Your running back isn't breaking 100 yards. The receiver breaks 100 yards.
50 passes is quite crazy.
That's massive. What is the record? Like 60? Well, in modern NFL, I'm sure it's way higher in old NFL, but it's just, I don't think it's a good look for anybody. And yeah, I'm with you. The Giants should be absolutely fucking embarrassed. The Broncos are going to get theirs, when it's time. They still have to play us twice. And, as long as we keep cooking, which we'll get there, I don't see them. They can enjoy their top of the leaderboard for now. It's not lasting much longer.
I mean, we'll see. Do they have like an easy schedule or do they have a hard schedule? They have Cowboys, which is kind of.
They have us twice. Cowboys are. I mean, Dak Prescott's in MVP conversations. They gotta not have their fucking players slip on their fucking floors in their mansions and get concussions before even reaching the football field. And maybe they can turn something around on the Cowboys.
I mean, they should have 5 to 6 wins left in them in the season. Like they don't have the hardest schedule. They don't have the easiest schedule. Like they gotta play the Packers, Chiefs twice, Chargers, and the Cowboys. But I'm considering like. The Texans, the 2 Raider games, the Jags are all probably wins. The Commanders, assuming that, like, I don't know, is Jaden Daniels in or is he out? Do they have one of their top 5 wide receivers for that game? They probably win that game too.
I mean, to be quite honest, the wins that they have are not hard wins, right? So they beat the Titans, not a good team. They lose to the Colts, good team. They lose to the Chargers, who were good at that time. They beat up on a beat-up Bengals.
Our team was probably the worst team.
That was the lowest point in your entire season right there.
Yeah, and I would say that we were probably the worst bottom five. We were a bottom five team in that moment too. So
the one good game they win is against the Eagles, and that's really like, I think the Eagles are an absolute beatable team. I think there are a lot of holes on that entire team. I feel like I remember this one. A lot of things went their way. They scored 21 there. You know, not 21 in the fourth quarter, 21 total fucking points. They barely beat the Jets. And then this Giants game, so
it is, and this is kind of gets into it. It's like, it's hard to believe that the same team that can score 33 points in the fourth quarter can only put up 13 points against the New York Jets.
Right. And that's just where I'm like, I'm not a believer. I can tell you that. But fuck this game. It's over for them. Congratulations. That was your Super Bowl victory, getting your little fourth quarter comeback there. You're in the history books. It just won't be in the Super Bowl. The good thing is we're going to start from top to bottom, and we get to start with probably your game of the week. I'm just going to let you kick this off.
I mean, it was my favorite game of the week. I will say that. Listen, I just want to start off this. I want to start this off by saying I was born at 9:00 in the morning, but it wasn't this morning. All right. I know that this does not turn our entire season around, and there's a lot of work to do from here. But with that said, let's just go ahead and revel in it a little bit. Get Joe Flacco from the Browns. He has one game where he's got to wear the fucking wristband. Zach Taylor's an idiot. Zach Taylor's still an idiot, by the way. Terrible head coach. Should not be a head coach in the NFL, but Joe Flacco gets a week. He says, you know what? I'm going to put some of that Baltimore, some of that, I don't know, I can't have the accent, but some of that old Baltimore heat on these passes. Goes 31 of 47, 342 yards, 3 TDs. I mean, fucking stat line of a lifetime. He had the little read option where he runs for like 12, 15 yards, backed up against the end zone. I mean, what are we talking about right now? What an absolute goat. I mean, excuse me. I spent a lot of years hating the guy for beating up on the Bengals as a Raven, but you know, when the turntable turns, it turns real good tables. I mean, gotta love it. Jamar Chase had a huge day, 16 receptions. I thought he was going for the Brandon Marshall 21 in a game or 22 in a game. I think he has 21 in a game or something like that. I think that's what Brandon Marshall had. So I thought he was going for the 22 receptions in a game record. I mean, T. Higgins was also kind of popping off.
Dude, there was a one play. Sorry to cut you off. I try not to interrupt you when you're talking about your game.
No, you're
there was a one play that, and this is where I'm like, Kansas City, what were you thinking? I mean, the man was available. The team didn't have money. They weren't going to pay this guy. T. Higgins is going fucking down the left sideline to you guys on the offense, right? Mm-hmm. And then Joe Flacco just puts the fucking ball in the air. T sees it and then comes and hooks around the top of the defender and just secure. It's one of the better plays I've seen all season long. And I've seen a whole lot of good shit out of Mahomes this year.
It just got a hell of a wingspan. That
gets me fucking hard. I mean, it was beautiful. And you know, why Kansas City didn't get which right now it's all working out. You know, we got a guy that finally got himself out of jail and shit like that. But it's like,
this big time too. We'll talk
about that right there. Like looking at that, knowing that obviously Jamar Chase, I've said it enough. The guy hates Kansas City, but you know, he at some point game will recognize game, and I think he'll understand like what he got to be a part of. You know, I guess in a sense, but when you have those two guys as those are two number one targets on one offense.
Yeah,
it's not hard to understand the frustration in this fucking team. And we kind of go through this every single week, but we got a 75-year-old quarterback. The motherfucker just fucking finished filling out his ARP card against a defense that is one of the highest paid defenses in the league, filled with stars. People that have been stars for all their lives, and that's what you guys do to them.
I will say they are quite an defense, if I will say
they are, but sometimes veterans can just get the job done.
Jalen Ramsey,
we saw it with the Eagles before.
was getting
Jalen Ramsey might be a bum.
he was getting absolutely cooked this weekend.
I'm pretty sure that play that I'm talking about with Higgins was on Jalen Ramsey, if I'm not mistaken.
He might need to like become a safety or get out of the league.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's usually how it goes, right? Corner becomes safety or retires. It's rough. Yeah, I mean, it was a great game. It was exciting to watch. I mean, Thursday night games. So I'm just going into this game hoping for a good game and maybe a win. Like, I think that the Steelers are beatable, right? But like at the very least, like as a lifelong Cincinnati fan, I'm just hoping that it's within a score or two at the end, which it was. But I mean, you can't expect to always be on the winning end of those. And this is one that I enjoy. It's another in-division win, so we haven't lost in the division, which means if we can somehow kind of equal out some of these wins, if Joe Flacco continued to play well, our offensive line played the best game of the season. If they can continue to play better, if Chase Brown can continue to run the ball, I think that all of those things add up to us being able to at least kind of tie with the Steelers maybe for the division lead. It gives us a chance to win the division is all I'm saying, because we have no division losses as it stands right now. We'll see what the Ravens look like when we play them, because they'll probably have all their weapons back at that point. We'll see if we can beat the Steelers twice. We'll see what our second look at the Browns looks like all that. But right now, 2-0 in division, up 2 games on the Ravens, 3 games on the Ravens, 2 games on the Ravens.
Maybe.
No, it's 2 games. We're 3-4. They're 1-5 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think they had their bye week. Maybe not. So we're up 2 games on the Ravens. I guess we're technically down to 1.5 games on the Steelers, right? Steelers are 4-2 because they also they've had their bye week as well. We're 3-4.
It's a game and a half.
Yeah, so game and a half. So, I mean, very catchable situation. Like, it could be like kind of a scuffle at the end. And I think that there's a decent probability that we can end up on top. And having those tiebreaker games is huge. So this was a huge game for the Bengals. It was a must win, in my opinion. And I actually think that the next 2 games are also must win games against the Jets and the Bears. I just don't think that we can allow ourselves to lose those games. We need to get back to above 500 and then just kind of fight for that area for the rest of the season. I mean, we have we probably have 2 guaranteed losses left on the schedule for sure. Not saying that we're only going to lose 2 more games, but I can see like 2 games that I am very, very confident we're going to lose. But other than that, we have the Jets, the Bears, the Steelers. We get the Ravens twice. The Patriots, the Bills are going to be tough games. We're probably not beating the Ravens twice. We're probably not beating the Patriots or the Bills. So I guess I would say like 3 games, 3 losses. The Dolphins should be the Dolphins, the Cardinals, the Browns, the Jets should all be walk-away games. Like, we should be able to win those games walking away. Should be 4 wins. So we're putting ourselves in the mix at the end. We could potentially have a 9 or 10 win season, and I think that'll be enough to get the job done in the AFC North this year, because we're uncharacteristically, the AFC North's having a very down year. As usually like a powerhouse conference or a powerhouse division, we're kind of like I don't want to say a bottom tier division. Like, you're not like we're scrappy. But we're towards the bottom this year. But yeah, I'm super pumped to see what happens. Hopefully Al Golden's defense can keep turning the ball over. The one highlight that I do want to talk about in this game, and then we'll move on, is DJ Turner had what I think is and will continue to be the best interception of the season in this game. And I don't know if you know the one that I'm referencing, but the one where DK Metcalf is running like an out route towards the sideline. He catches the ball and he has possession, and DK Metcalf gets hit once from like his right side or left side, and then DJ Turner comes in and just takes the ball from him gets a knee down inbounds for an interception, which, I mean, when you're talking about a big dude like DK Metcalf, big. I mean, just he's a strong guy. Like, you're not expecting that kind of thing to happen. And it's just an incredible play. And I'm looking for the highlight here so I can send it to you. Just in case you haven't seen it. I found it. So I'm going to shoot.
Yeah, I remember, I think I was doing something that night, but we were all in a call, and you definitely pointed that interception out. I don't think I was watching play for play, though.
Yeah, so I just said
I think in this one, I assume I picked Pittsburgh to win.
you did.
But
that's okay.
I honestly didn't think it would be this. I didn't think it would be really even close, let alone you guys kind of come out. I mean, it's a great game. Defense, like you said, looks good. I'm going to check out this video in a second here. Defense looked good. I do appreciate, though, while you guys look good, you did let my boy Jaylen Warren rush for 127 yards. That's very appreciative of you guys because I needed that bad, and I dominated my fantasy football this week.
That's also, I think that's my takeaway for the Steelers from this game, too. Like, you can't get too down on yourself, even though you are in a dog shit city in a dog shit state, playing for a dog shit franchise. You cannot get too down on yourself. You gotta. Jaylen Warren looked good. He looked fucking strong. And I think a lot of teams are jealous that they don't have a Jaylen Warren, right? Aaron Rodgers clearly letting frustration get to him a lot more in his old age. He's just a little bit more outwardly emotional when things are not going his way these days. So
that play is sick, by the way.
Yeah.
But I also agree with Aaron Rodgers. The problem with Aaron Rodgers is, like, I get it. You are, you're on some people's Mount Rushmore of the NFL. You're a multiple MVP winner in this league. You've got a ring, so there's no shortcoming of like, well, he was great, but he never won a ring. All these statistics about him. The issue is the man's also got to understand, since he's gotten in the league, this game has evolved, and I understand he's kept up with it for the most part. But, for a guy that's just finally changed his helmet after 20 fucking years of playing football, and who has consistently just kind of ran the offense through him. He's had some running backs, obviously, throughout his career. But he's been a passing guy, and just you're playing with these new younger players now. Metcalf's not super young, and but you got people like Freiermuth and Jaylen Warren and all these younger guys that are just like, they're playing different. The defense is playing different. Different schemes are out there. Like, at some point, even Tom Brady had, the GOAT of the NFL, had his days where things just did not go his way because everybody's kind of figured things out. Now you just have to play your best game in football, or pay the refs a lot of money, and you can just win anyways. But yeah, great game. It's just, it's getting interesting to see how close a lot of these teams. I don't think at this point, even this early in the season, it would even be this close. Typically you got your 3 or 4 teams in each side that are kind of running away. And there are a lot on both sides that are very, very close. And it's very, very unclear who's going to the playoffs, and even honestly, who can be predicted to win the Super Bowl at this point.
Yeah, it's a bit nuts.
Next game on the schedule, not much to talk about. Jaguars lose another home game in London. Rams just dog walked the shit out of the Jaguars here, and Jaguars, I think, got exposed, and they are the terrible team that we lost to just a few weeks ago that I expected. I did not watch much of this, though, I don't think.
Yeah, so I watched this whole thing because I had some fantasy stake in it, and
yeah, I put Devontae Adams on my bench.
Yeah, it's how do I put this? Trevor Lawrence's inconsistencies are scary for the amount of money he's making. That's what I'm going to say. Sorry, I know this is taking me like a long.
Also, while you kind of collect your thoughts there, I forgot to tell you one last thing about the Cincy Steelers game here. One of the best things that probably also came out of that game, minus the fact that you guys got to get your win. There was a meme that came out because for some reason your boy just can't decide on one fucking haircut to kind of like, you know, people change. Like I had long hair at one point, I had buzz cut, I fucking slicked the hair to the side. Like I kind of, you kind of go in phase like that, but this guy literally just changed his hair so much. And the meme came out. It says Joe Burrow looks like someone who was cast to play J.J. McCarthy in a movie about Justin Jefferson. It is one of the best memes of the week. And honestly, looking at him, I see a little bit of J.J. McCarthy in him, you know? J.J. McCarthy, unfortunately, as dumb as these haircuts are and as dumb as he looks sometimes, Burrow's got talent surpassing J.J. McCarthy I think will ever have. But, you know, they like to both get injured a lot and, you know, not play a lot and stuff like that. So that's kind of the same. But yeah, that was a pretty good meme that I saw over the weekend.
Yeah, man. That is actually really funny.
I could tell.
It doesn't seem like it, dude.
Yeah, that's super funny. Anyways, yeah, Trevor Lawrence.
My brain's all over the place, dude. The Rams looked like a
bag of potatoes.
Looked like an unstoppable team.
This is the Rams that we should be seeing every week, and I don't know why we're not. And this is without Puka Nacua.
Yeah, that was kind of nutty. The thing I was saying about Trevor Lawrence is his inconsistencies are one, glaring, and two, like insane. Like they were present prior to his contract, so I don't know. Like, are the Jaguars just willing to accept this version of Trevor Lawrence and think that they're going to be able to win games?
You know what's odd about the fan base for the Jaguars, right? I there's a lot of times I forget this team exists. Trevor Lawrence, obviously makes it to where you know the team exists. It's a big name. Is a big name coming out of college. But the funny thing about or the kind of the weird thing about Jaguars fans, they're a very humble and aware fan base, right? And what I mean by that is even when that contract came down, the fans of the team was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, that's cool. And it's been a long time since we've had a quarterback that can win. And there was that few years ago, they made that big playoff push and they were looking good. And I honestly thought this was post Urban Meyer. We get Doug Peterson in, and I was like, wow, like Doug Peterson, is a Super Bowl guy. Like he's out of that Andy Reid coaching tree. This is the turnaround. And next year they're going to be fucking insane. And I was genuinely worried about them. And then Trevor Lawrence fucking stepped on. It's like a Carson Wentz kind of guy, right? You get that experience of like one game. It's like, holy shit, that's the quarterback they paid. And then even in that same game, or at least the next one, you get the complete total opposite.
So yeah, I think the scary part for me is like that they're not willing to cut bait, right? I think the team is trying really hard. I think that they're lacking a secondary receiver, right? You have BTJ, who the way that he's playing this year seems like he's scared to take hits. Seems like he has a little bit of like PTSD. He might have devolved into a wide receiver too, or he's having a slump year. I'm not sure, but like you need another legitimate outside threat on that team. I think that they're a run-based team. I think they need to run the ball to be a good team and eat up clock. I think their defense is pretty solid. I don't think it's ever terrible. At least the last like 5 or so years, it's always been pretty solid, and they have the ability to make plays, and they tend to draft pretty good defensive players as well. Like, I just think that, you gave Trevor Lawrence the keys to the team, and he doesn't know how to drive. He's like, you put him on an open highway, right? You throw him on the Autobahn, like anybody can go in a straight line as fast as they want. But then you throw him on, an F1 road course, and it's like he's missing every corner. He just can't get the car straightened out, whatever it is. And I think that's kind of like the problem that you're seeing with him, right? Like you give him kind of like he can only take what's easy for him. Is that like a way to say this? Like he really only has the ability to win games that have a very clear path to victory. And if he's rolling, he's rolling. And if he's not, it looks like he should be back in college. Like I don't know, maybe he needs to be like an 8th year senior, like that kid who's at like Michigan right now or wherever.
Like it's Georgia. You talk about Stetson Bennett or whoever.
Yeah, dude. I know he's at Miami this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was at
He's
Georgia.
been all over the fucking place.
Yeah. So like, it's like sometimes it seems like he should have went that route and just made all of his money in NIL. But
I mean, maybe it's just to play a little bit on the other side. Maybe it is lack of talent on this team. But who the fuck did he have on that year that they went rolling with Doug Peterson as their head coach? And that whole squad, including the fan base,
Marquise Lee,
as humble as they are, as humble as they are, they ran Doug Peterson out of the fucking state.
Well, I think
this
Doug
guy's
Peterson
their Super Bowl
sucked.
winning quarterback. I don't think he was that bad. He turned that team around.
He had one good year and then I think 2 bad years.
Yeah, and I could understand that. It's frustrating, but if you don't have it's similar to kind of maybe what you guys are dealing with. You have talent on your team, and they have talent on that team, but sometimes you got it in all the wrong fucking places. Kansas City has this high flying receiving core right now too, but we've got to. We'll get there, but the line is terrible. It's the same in Cincy. There's things that you've got to look at, and I think the Jags have a pretty good line, but then they don't have any receivers, and sometimes you just got to look at that. They got money there. That owner wants to win.
Yeah, he sure does.
And this is Trevor Lawrence will be the next Carson Wentz. He's going to be a career backup after this. If he is offered another significant contract, that person that offers that should be drug tested.
But then again,
and probably kicked out.
You played devil's advocate a little bit earlier. Let me play it now. Do you want to end up with a Sam Darnold situation, right? Where you gave this guy like one extra contract and then ran him out of the building, basically cut him. And then now he's flourishing in an environment because he was able to find a team that had all the right pieces in place. Do you think the Jaguars are maybe just trying to put those pieces in place while he's there and just keep him there?
The only other side of that is, and maybe I'm wrong, but with the turnaround that we saw with Baker Mayfield, Mr. Duval himself is supposed to be this kind of guru who's supposed to come in and make this offense shine. And honestly, their defense is a better side of their football team right now.
It's his first season.
I've seen better first seasons.
Sure. I've seen worse.
Alex Smith never got a contract like that, did he? Well, he might have with Washington. That was after
I don't know what his contract
an actual incredible year, though, with Kansas City and years leading up to that. Before that, there was
Kansas City underpaid him for a long time coming out of San Francisco.
Yes. So, we're talking about a quarterback. I'd rather have Alex Smith any day than a Trevor Lawrence, right?
Yeah.
So
sure. I would too if you're talking about consistent Alex Smith. Yes, if you could guarantee that level of consistency, yes, you would always rather have Alex Smith than 99% of quarterbacks. He's kind of a 1%er in that region. If you can't have a Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, a Joe Burrow, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, I would rather have Alex Smith than Phillip Rivers. Alex Smith I'm almost positive that he won more games and just had. He might not have had
Phillip Rivers in the league for a long time, though. I don't know. It had 20 children while doing that.
But, well, yeah, but so is Alex Smith.
My whole point of that, though, is the reason I kind of brought up in Alex Smith is Alex Smith, good quarterback, but he was not expensive. We had a great running back in Jamal Charles when he first got there, who was on his decline. He still had another couple of good years with us. And then Travis Kelce in his early years, right? There was no notable offensive people We had some guys here and there. Chris Conley, who nobody's probably ever heard of. He went from us and did some things in the Super Bowl with San Francisco. Unfortunately, lost to us. Like, there were some guys that I like, but that's because I'm a fan. And I'm like, yeah, these guys are good. They're not great, but they're good. But most notably, nobody knows. They're not household names. And Andy Reid, obviously, we're talking about Andy Reid versus Duvall himself. Andy Reid's a wildly way better coach. But it's still his first year with a brand new team comes in and just changes the whole outlook on everything. So I don't know. I just don't. I don't see, and again, this just is for your thing of like, do we want to see this as a Sam Darnold situation? Sometimes that's what you need. It didn't. The only team I really see that probably really, really fucked up, because I don't think the Jets fucked up. The Jets are a bad organization no matter who's at fucking quarterback, right? The only team I think that really fucked up was the Cleveland Browns letting go of Baker Mayfield. That's it.
Letting go of Baker
really.
Mayfield for sure.
I don't really see anybody. Mac Jones looks good in San Francisco.
Everybody looked good in that offense.
But everybody looks good in that offense, right?
God,
so it's
I hate fucking saying that because Kyle Shanahan, I fucking hate him.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. I don't. Outside of the Baker situation, like Geno, we thought was that guy, right? He also leaves a terrible organization in the Jets. He has some good years in Seattle, but now look at him. He's back to the Geno that he is. Was it that system or was it not? And either it's going to be the system with Duvall himself, or Trevor Lawrence is going to be a backup somewhere.
Geno, I think, was always a backup who just got like.
He had a great last couple of years though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that first year in Seattle was like an MVP candidate. Like, he never made the final five, but
might be the most
he was talked about
run in all. Like, I don't know. Seattle's another one of those like teams where it's like their system kind of supersedes everything there.
A couple different coaches now, but either way, we're harping
coaches,
way too much.
Do you think that Seattle plays differently than they did when they were running DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett? Like, I don't think they play any different. It's just JSN and whoever the fuck he's dragging around these days.
Sure, it is a different coach. It's not Pete Carroll, and it's not who was there before. McDonald hasn't been there this whole time. I think this is his first year there, right? Or second year there. I guess I was still with Geno then. Okay. Yeah. And with DK and Tyler Lockett. Yeah. I guess you're right.
I just think it's the same Seattle team. Like, they have running back by committee, right? Like, you can't rely on Kenneth Walker for too much. It looks like they don't trust him very much. They have Charbonnet in there for a lot of the looks. It's like they have a split backfield. It seems like they've had a split backfield for fucking a decade now, going back to like, Chris Carson, all those guys who basically were just getting injured, like, ever since Marshawn Lynch left.
I will say, if I'm a Jaguars fan, though, like, if they offer Trevor Lawrence another contract, it won't be as significant as he has, but as long as it's significant enough, I give him one season.
I think
he should be due soon.
I
mean, he definitely deserves a pay cut. But I give him one season
because he's
on
out
on the whole fucking franchise.
He's on like $100+ million contract right now.
I think it's $180 million or something like that. It was a pretty significant. Like, it wasn't like Lamar money or Joe Burrow money, but it was a significant contract when he got it.
Yeah, there's no way. He's got to have like 2 or 3 years left on that. But he's not getting that twice for sure. Not with the way he's played. I'd show him tape of himself.
I mean, he should be. The total value is $275 million. Oh, they're fucked. This whole team's fucked. Average annual salary is $55 million. This is good till 2030. Total guaranteed is $200 million. This is a guaranteed 200, which is a significant amount but that is a massive contract. So I kind of lied. It's up there with all these other guys. $55 million a year, and that's what he's doing. So he took that big ass fucking nose, shoved it in Khan's fucking ass, and said, "Pay me, bitch." Well, it ties him with Joe Burrow for the highest paid in the NFL.
Oh, based off a yearly salary.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the guy that's actually winning Super Bowls is making like 40 a year, but which is
on a $500 million contract. Like, none of those guys have that.
It ain't guaranteed like that though.
I'm pretty sure that it's
he won't make $500 million. He's making $500 million elsewhere, but he ain't making $500 million from the NFL. I can tell you that.
He'll make $500 million from the NFL, dude. He's getting some wink, fucking. I wait till the end of his career. I want to see all of his.
Who do you think's writing the checks to these refs, dude? Anyways, moving on. We're harping way too much on a dog shit team. I'm sorry, Jaguars fans. It's over for you. Eagles beat the Vikings. There's not much to say here. AJ Brown finally gets his. Devontae Smith is an absolute dog. I mean, I watched an interview with him. He looks like an actual child. I think he is an actual child fucking beating grown-ass men in the NFL.
What's his weight?
And
do we know how much he weighs?
I mean, it's got to be 92 pounds, right? But the team looks like the team should, but they also played against some beat-up Vikings and the Carson Wentz experience. It was up and down the entire game for him, and the Vikings probably should have won that game too, but they're dumb. They're a terrible team, and I hope they figure it out.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I like Kevin O'Connell a lot. I don't know what tree he comes from, but he seems like an extremely likable fucking coach. 170 pounds. I don't know where. He must have a
muscular.
Must be packing in the middle of his fucking pants or something. I don't know where 170 pounds.
That's at least 30 pounds.
At least.
Fuck, dude. Carson Wentz 2 interceptions in this game. Jordan Mason only 57 yards on 15 carries. Like this was a problem game. I'll tell you what the problem is, though, if you're Philadelphia, is Saquon Barkley's production this season has got to be able to, like, they're going to tell you that, like, oh, we're saving them for the playoffs. Like, we're not worried. Like, it's okay. Like, 18 carries, 44 yards, dude. Like, 18 carries isn't saving them for the playoffs, all right?
I'm telling you now, like, I don't know what's going on in Washington, but I do know the Cowboys, at least offensively, are pretty fucking good when you have Dak Prescott that's healthy, CeeDee Lamb that's healthy, and now the rise of George Pickens, as well as, like, look out, we've also got a potential for a run game here. And then Jake Ferguson just eats over there for touchdowns,
talking about Dallas right now?
I'm saying the Eagles need to watch out. I think they're in for it. They're not going to lead this division for much longer.
Yeah, I mean, okay, then
the Giants are
understand
got a long
where
ways
we're
to
coming
go.
from now. I thought you were going off on a tangent about the
No.
Like,
the Eagles are a bad football team. They're getting found out, which doesn't make any sense, to be quite honest with you, because they had the recipe. The recipe is build up your defensive line, build up your offensive line. It's very hard to lose football games that way. And it doesn't seem like either one of them are working. I think they've got some injuries going on both sides.
Well,
Brandon Graham comes out of retirement. If
you're talking to an Eagles fan right now, they're saying that, like, our receivers cooked, right? Devonta Smith, 183 yards, AJ Brown, 121 yards, 3 touchdowns between the two of them. They are not going to be able to do that every game. They need the run game. Saquon cannot go 18 carries for 44 yards. You can't have a 2.4 yard average. Jalen Hurts cannot have negative rushing yards on the day. Negative 10 rushing yards is nuts, considering you get 4 yards, like, you get 2 4 yards per tush push. So, like, what are we doing right now? Like, how is
this just tells me, this game, without seeing it, tells me that the same corner was either rotating between Smith and AJ Brown, and whoever he was on, that's who the ball went to, because all of 326 yards are on those two players that Jalen Hurts threw. Jalen Hurts consistent, though. 19 of 23, didn't have to do much because those guys just fucking took it to the house every fucking time. Like, either the same corner or both corners are fucking bad. I think they just played a really bad defense here.
Yeah, a lot of Eagles talk here. Sorry, excuse me. But let's also talk about the Vikings and how, like, they probably should have won this game. They need to win this game. Carson Wentz is just
Carson Wentz can't throw fucking that many interceptions in a game. I tell you, it's Carson Wentz experience.
Yeah, this is the Carson Wentz experience. They need a QB back. I don't know if what's McCarthy's timeline.
That is a good question. I haven't seen. I feel like every week he's supposed to be coming back.
Let me look at it.
But I haven't seen him coming through.
Out through week 8.
Jeez. So another week or two.
And some reports suggesting he could return week 9 or even later.
Concerning J.J. McCarthy, news emerges after Vikings injury spell. That was 11 hours ago.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're in
I
trouble.
mean, Carson
dude.
Wentz can do it, but it's that call it the
They're in
CWE, the
trouble
Carson Wentz
losing
experience.
pace with the Bears. Like it's not just the Lions and the Packers anymore.
Yeah.
The Bears are
I mean,
winning games too.
outside of interdivisional, it's supposed to be one of the divisions that kind of just steamrolls everybody. And it was the Bears that were struggling last year, and they're finding ways to win football games right now.
Bears
so.
are on the Bears started 0-2. They're on a 4-game win streak right now. The Vikings are last in that division currently.
That's insane. You know who else is on a bit of a win streak here?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
No, it's the New England Patriots.
Well, also the Chiefs.
Yeah, that is true. They started off looking bad in this game against the Titans. They beat the Titans 31-13. They did not look good to start this game, and then they just steamrolled the Titans like they should have.
Yeah,
I mean, there's not much there. Drake May still looking really good. Cam Ward still looking really bad. So
Drake May does look like
he
needed that freshman year to figure himself out, and he's been a stud all year, dude, and he continues to be a stud. He's completing most of his 21 of 23 for 222 yards. I mean,
and that is a record as well for the New England Patriots. The completion percentage he has.
Yeah, it's
I assume with a minimum of 20 passes.
Tough to get a Patriots record there, given
as a quarterback at least.
Ramondre, I see they're still trusting him with the ball, which is kind of crazy, Mr. Fumble Rooski. The Titans are just a bad team, though, dude. Like, you can't, like...
It started off bad, though. I think it was like 13-3 or something when this game started. And then...
sure, sometimes you get off to a slow start.
Braves just turned it around and said, you guys forgot. These guys actually fucking suck. Let's go win this fucking game. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean, it was 10-3 after the first, and then it looks like going into halftime, it was 14-13 Pats. And then the Pats went ahead and said, we'll put up a couple of quick tuds on you and shut you out for the rest of the game, and that'll be that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this DK, because it's not, I want to say Dyke, but it's not Dyke. Chamir DK. He's emerging. He seems like he's emerging as their go-to guy. Maybe Cam Ward needs a year. I don't know, dude. 25.
I don't know what that team does.
200.
This is also coming off of the firing of their coach. So this is an interim coach stepping in and trying to do something with this team. I mean, and that's the problem with a lot of these teams. And that's where, maybe you were right about Trevor Lawrence earlier. You can't just have a 1 or 2 year fucking guy and then say he's out. Like, you got to give time for that team to develop. They just drafted a quarterback. They just got pieces on this team that they're trying to make work.
Well, my thing is, if you're drafting a quarterback in the first round, especially number 1 overall, right? Cam Ward went 1 overall.
Yeah.
If you're doing that, your team probably sucks ass, right?
Yeah.
So there's things that need to be built off of.
Agreed.
Tajay Spears came back. He's been kind of ineffective, but whatever.
Yeah.
The Titans are a terrible team, and we might as well just like highlight over every game for the rest of the season as saying the Titans are a terrible team until they win a game, and then when they win a game, we can talk about them. But I think that we just stop talking about the Titans until they win.
Yeah. Speaking of highlighting over some teams and games, the next 3 games are just dog shit. Panthers wanted to. They heard about the Broncos and the Jets being on the Weather Channel at 3 a.m. and they said, you know what, that sounds fucking great. So they went in and only put up 13 points to beat the terrible fucking Jets, 13-6. Bryce Young, though, I believe got hurt in this game.
Yeah, a couple of things that I wanted to talk about with this game. More so related to the Panthers. The Jets are just the Jets need to blow it up, dude. They need to, any kind of talent, anywhere that they can receive any value, they need to trade that all away for draft picks right now and basically have an entire rookie team next year. That's their best shot. One thing I wanted to talk about was Chuba back, Rico still rolling. Looks like Rico still had backfield supremacy do we think that there's a legitimate argument to be made that Chuba lost his job while he was injured?
Yeah.
I mean, the Panthers are 4-3 now. They're right in the mix. I mean, do we think long term that's sustainable for them? No. As soon as they run into good teams, they're probably going to lose. But
yeah, and it's possible.
They beat
So
up
it
on
looks
the Cowboys.
like Mike White was signed to help this team out since Bryce Young's going to be out for a bit. It's possible they may need to run through both of those running backs for a little bit and try to see what they can do. I mean, yeah, shit, they got a better record than the Chiefs right now, right? No, Chiefs are, I think, are also 4-3, but Brees Hall sucks. I'm sorry, just another note on this game. Just kind of looking here, 11 carries for 38 yards. About to drop him. I don't even think I'm going to even try to trade him. I'm just going to drop him. Nobody should have any players from the Jets on their fantasy football team.
Keep in mind,
Tyrod
Garrett
Taylor,
Wilson was injured, so they're keying in on Brees Hall, right? There's no other threats on that team.
Yeah, you got Tyrod Taylor throwing 2 interceptions. One of my favorite backup quarterbacks of all time. But he's bad. He's just not a good. I mean, this whole organization sucks. I don't have much more to say about this fucking game. I just this is the bad football that I'm so fucking glad that it's not a primetime game. It deserves to be the 1 o'clock schedule.
Yeah, I really just wanted to bring up the Rico Dowdle Chuba Hubbard thing, dude, because Chuba Hubbard kind of a feature back.
No, I mean Dowdle looked good. He came from Cowboys, right?
Yeah, I guess more so what I'm saying is, if you're the Panthers, so this was the part 2. This was the second thing that I wanted. Do you try to parlay this, dude? If you're convinced that Chuba Hubbard's your guy, do you maybe shop Rico Dowdle and like sell high on Rico to a team that is desperately maybe clutching for some sort of run game? Like, let's just say the Texans. Let's just say the Chargers, maybe, because they've had some. I know Vidal came in and did good one game, and last week I think, did he leave the game earlier? I don't know, but yeah, if Hassan Haskins goes down, the Chargers, they could use a running back.
I mean, that's kind of what we do in fantasy. Why wouldn't a team decide to do something like this, right? You had a guy that has a couple good weeks, and then you sell.
If you get like a 5th, 6th rounder for him, like that's kind of good.
I could see it.
Can't be making a lot of money, I don't think.
No. He's probably an easy free agent signing. Just add some depth, just in case. The only problem with Hubbard, whatever, he is pretty injury prone, and this kind of is a thing that is pretty consistent with them.
Yeah.
So as much as you may want him to be your guy, like you also can't depend on him either. So, I mean, they have the option to shop really either one. Just say, hey, we talked with the doctors and Hubbard, he's good to go. We just found another dude here that we want. That's what I would do.
Well, you'd still have to go get a physical by the other team and stuff like that. So
yeah, I know. Just hope it works out.
Anyhow, moving on. Browns crushed the Dolphins. Mike McDaniel still has a job somehow.
Yeah, so I actually, just on that, because again, I don't have much to say about this game. I started looking up Mike McDaniel, and the 4th search down auto-populated to Mike McDaniel fired yet. How is he not fired yet?
Answer is he's not. I don't know, dude. You heard all the reports coming out that he had lost the locker room. The players didn't respect him. All the makings of a quick firing. And it is dragging out forever. So I don't know. Maybe he's got nudies of somebody.
CBS reports not expecting to get fired. Let's just take a quick glance of some stats here. I mean, this guy really is probably one of the most accurate quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life. 3 interceptions. I mean, he's throwing it to somebody, right? And he's getting completions. It's the wrong fucking team. I coach a little kid soccer team, right?
Yeah.
And they like to score in the wrong fucking goal. They're doing a bunch of own goals, and it seems like Tua is just like, man, I want to be like that. Like, at least get something going here. And it's just through the other team. Meanwhile, Dylan Gabriel doesn't throw any touchdowns, but he also doesn't throw any interceptions. Judkins has a game. Yeah, the Browns cook on both sides of the ball, and in a sense, they also played the fucking Dolphins. So this is still a terrible fucking team, but Dolphins 1-6.
Dolphins metagaming it, really. They're getting a high draft pick out of this, and I think that might be why
They
they're
have
riding
to.
the wave.
Maybe that's the only thing that makes sense. If we're going to stick with him, like he went up and said, look, listen, we fucked up. Tua ain't the answer. There's some good guys coming out of college. A lot of good guys. You know, we could do this for a couple years. Maybe see how Arch Manning develops. Let's get him. He just beat the shit out of a fucking top 6 school, right? So let's just do that. Keep me here. You know I'm good. When we're cooking, and we're going to definitely get a better guy than Tua. This guy doesn't even deserve to be a backup quarterback anymore.
I think this might be one of those cases where they get the draft picks and then they fire him afterwards, right? Like they pick all the guys up and they just don't want to like pay anybody else until they're ready. So they'll wait for like a guy that they are targeting to hit the market, and then that's when Mike McDaniel gets fucking canned and they go after their guy.
Here's a fun one for you. You're building a football team and you have 2 choices of quarterback. Trevor Lawrence or Tua? Who are you picking?
This is the first player that I'm picking on the team. Like, I don't know what the rest of my team looks like.
Sure.
Trevor.
Sure. This is the guy you're about to build your entire franchise around, and those
I'll
are your
pick
only
Trevor.
2 options. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Tua, I mean, there's been things I've seen with him over the years. Obviously, he had a great college career. We got Jalen Hurts with a Super Bowl win and, you know, quite honestly, better stats than this guy who was benched at the end of the day. You know, he only got to come in as relief for Tua when they had 4th quarter blowouts with Nick Saban as the coach. Like, there was some cool, flashy stuff, but he's just not the guy, and his head is not there either. And obviously, 18 concussions will do that to you, but some of the comments he makes himself to reporters and just how things are, like, even, you know, some of it was about players not showing up. Like, buddy, you just can't say that. You're making your whole franchise look bad. So you can't do it on the field, and you're not doing it off the field either. Like, it's just not a guy that I would
think
trust.
Tua needs to be medically retired, to be honest.
That should have happened 2 years ago. And I'm not sure how it was allowed in the NFL to go on. I mean, it's one thing to, like, try to keep going because of what was, but it's another thing of, like, you're ruining this guy's fucking life, and he is ruining his own life by continuing to fucking do it.
Yeah,
I don't care what fucking exercises you took to mitigate the possible concussions, but it doesn't matter. Like, you need to be sitting still for a long time.
Yeah, it's not a great look for him. It's not a great look for the Dolphins franchise. They're in shambles. They need to probably blow it all up too. Like, I don't know that you're getting anything out of the rest of A-Chain's career, which is probably going to be short, and that guy's prone to injury. The rest of Waddle's career. I mean, obviously you want to believe that you can build off something, but I think you need to retool that whole team. And I mean, I know that I'm over here playing like Madden fantasy GM mode, and I'm like, oh yeah, you can just trade these guys away. And I know that it has to work with contracts. Probably not going to happen. But that's what I would almost be looking to do if I was the Dolphins. Maybe you can keep Waddle and A-Chain, but if you do, you definitely have to get rid of Tua now. You have to kind of retool your defense like now. You need to find a complementary receiver now. You have to do that stuff like in the next year and a half. So you're going to have to you're not going to be able to draft all these guys. You're going to have to go get people.
Yeah.
If you
I wonder what the
wanna
money
make
situation's like, because they should be able to start. I mean, Tyreek probably done for his career, right? That's the expectation.
I think he retired officially, right?
I didn't see anything about that. I think he's on IR.
Either way, if he does, I don't think he'll ever play another snap in the NFL.
Yeah, currently on the Dolphins, but that leg break at that age, like it's tough. I mean, I'm sure he could do it, but yeah, I don't know. Moving on. Next game is absolute proof that turnover battles will win you a game, and if you run the fucking ball well, you could also win the fucking game. The Bears beat the Saints 26-14. Saints running back has 28 yards. The Bears running backs has 124 yards on only 8 additional carries. One quarterback has 3 interceptions. One has 1. We can imagine which one had 3. Chris Olave, though, for fantasy owners, has 2 touchdowns and 98 yards on 5 receptions. So I guess that's good. The only 2 scores of that entire game. But, yeah, I mean, Bears, this is a bad football team, but, sometimes you just got to beat bad football teams to also be good in the NFL. And, yeah, they're on a 4-game win streak, 4-2, which is fucking kind of insane. Caleb Williams still is a dog shit quarterback, but they're finding ways to win.
The Bears are rolling. I think the biggest problem that the Bears are going to run into is that they are the 3rd best team in their own division.
Correct. And it's
could be one.
It's going to be tough sledding.
It could be the best division in football. Who knows? But they are clearly 3rd fiddle in that division. Depending on if the Vikings can get their quarterback situation squared away, they might be fighting for 4th best. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those situations where they're winning games, but they're putting together wins at a time where it's probably not going to mean a lot for the franchise. It's for fan morale for sure. Gives you a little bit of hope if you're rooting for the Bears, but I just don't think it can turn into really anything.
We shall see. That's again, it's the beauty of the NFL. I really do love it.
The chefs.
The chefs, they're obviously back. First win streak of the season. We're up to 2. Isaiah Pacheco, our leading rusher. That's that deserves a clap right there. Travis Kelce, our leading receiver. That deserves hand clap there. But with that being said, Rashee Rice is back. He only had 42 yards on the day, but he had 2 touchdowns. I felt like it was a point of emphasis for the team to go, let's get this guy kicking into high gear.
Yeah, so that was going to be my point. I wasn't going to cut you off, but it did seem like they were force-feeding him the ball. And as somebody who pays close attention to what Xavier Worthy's doing for completely football-related reasons and not fantasy-related reasons at all. Just a big Xavier Worthy guy myself.
Worthy got shaken up a little bit in this game, though. He came right back, but he did get shaken up.
It just seemed like early they just decided like this is going to be like the comeback game for Rashee. Like we're going to get him hit in the ground running. Was he on a snap count? I didn't watch the game. I didn't see if it was.
Not that I saw. I think he was fully out there. I mean, what I kind of saw out of this game is not only get him involved, just get him back. Like, hey, remember you do play in the NFL. It's been quite some time because remember he was injured. And then he comes back to practice to get suspended, right? I think that was a point of emphasis. And I really think it's like we know Hollywood can get it done if we need Hollywood to get it done. We know Juju can get it done. Juju's been crucial in blocking and other factors of the game, and he just doesn't have to play receiver. We know we still have Travis Kelce, who, he's aging, but he can kind of get it done. Let us show you that we also still have a number 1 receiver who can get it done. And I think what this sets the Chiefs up for is defenses are going to have a really tough time scheming for this offense, which is exactly how we were back in the Tyreek Hill days. Which is exciting as a Chiefs fan.
Here's going to be, I think, the big thing for the Chiefs in my eyes, right, is now that you have Rashee back, and if he's not on a snap count and completely up to speed, I mean, you have to establish the clear pecking order, which is obviously Rashee, Worthy, and then you kind of have like a grouping of guys: Thornton, Smith-Schuster, Hollywood, really those guys that are like kind of fighting for that 3rd position, and it's going to be situational, right? So where I really think it's going to be is like, let's just pay attention to the snap count between Tyquan Thornton and Hollywood Brown, because they kind of fill the same role, except Hollywood is just much older. So I'll be interested to see how that works out. I think that Hollywood is going to see a lot of the bench here in the second act of the season here.
I agree, but I also I'd like a good rotation. You know what I mean?
I understand that.
I want no more injuries on this fucking offensive side. We're down a left tackle right now. Nobody knows where the fuck this guy is. The team's not speaking about it. The rumors are there's an issue with his mother, which, hopefully all things are well there. And if that is the case, it doesn't sound good, or there's a substance abuse. There's two different sides of the spectrum. I don't know how you get drafted and then instantly get into substance abuse issues, but I do know he was fighting injuries. Maybe it's something that's stemming from that. I don't know what's going on. We got a guy we paid a ton of money filling in, but then Trey Smith, our right guard, also gets hurt. We need this team to be healthy. Defense is looking much better. I don't give a shit if it is Raiders. They are a legitimately dog shit team. This
not good. So let's
should have been.
Let me add in, because I know you're going to talk. You're probably going to make a couple more points here, and they're probably going to be more about the Chiefs and the Raiders. But 95 yards of total offense. Chiefs defense, we have to give claps to. I mean, obviously, you hold any.
They got 3 first downs versus our 30 in that game.
Holding any professional football team to under 100 yards of total offense. I'm talking about, this is total. This isn't rushing yards. This isn't passing yards. It seems like a weird stat because, single players very often have more than 95 yards in a game, but the entire team went forward on the field a total of less than the entire field for the entirety of the game. If you accumulate all of those yards, which is an insane thing to have happen. The Raiders have a lot to figure out, and probably not a lot of time. They continue the downturn since the Gruden Armageddon. They're gotta get rid of Geno Smith.
You start Pickett over Geno Smith?
Pickett's not the answer. I'll tell you that much. Pickett's gonna get killed.
I agree with that.
They need to look into something. They're probably drafting somebody this season, but holy shit, they have probably the most abysmal quarterback situation in the league, and this is coming from a Bengals fan.
They have for years.
It's shocking.
It's great about this too. Their best quarterback in the last 4 or 5 years is sitting on our bench, and I love it. And
Derek Carr sitting on your bench?
No,
Carter
absolutely not. Look, if they ever said, thank God he's retired, but if they ever said, hey, we're gonna bring Derek Carr in to be our backup, I wouldn't be a Chiefs fan anymore. I'd pick a whole new team. Gardner Minshew, and even got to come back into the game. It felt like a college football game. We scored so many goddamn points.
that was a Mahomes stat thing, dude. That was such collusion by the league. They wanted Gardner Minshew to come in and take the 3 knees for the -3 rushing yards for fucking, so it didn't affect Mahomes' stats. What a crock of shit, dude. Terrible.
Loved every moment of it. The legend came in.
Love to see the mustache out there, though. We'll say that.
So beautiful. Defense is starting to cook. Like you said, not to discredit them at all, even though it is a bad fucking team. Teams should get more than that.
They're a professional team. They're
a professional football team. And they drafted a lot. They made a shit ton of moves in the offseason to put themselves in a conversation to, are they going to be the ones to dethrone the Chiefs as the best in the West? And they're not even fucking close.
Maybe as a Chiefs fan, I think that might be an internal AFC West fan thing that happened around, because as a outside of that division fan and a just general football fan, the Chargers I heard about the Broncos. I don't think anybody was talking about the Raiders dethroning anybody.
Every team, the early season predictions, Chiefs were going to finish 4th in this division. I can tell you that. That was early season predictions. Good Morning Football, Colin Cowherd, all these guys, all of them said it. They're going to finish 4th in the division.
Okay, well,
it's over.
Colin Cowherd also has the fucking famous,
he's a fucking moron.
Famous clip of him saying Ben Simmons is in the league. Like, LeBron, you're good. We're good because of Ben Simmons. We're good. NBA, we're good. Fucking Simmons. What a bum.
He also now says the Chiefs are going to inevitably win the Super Bowl, but I like it. I don't.
Let me go on a little rant here. I'm sorry. I need to go on a little rant. I cannot stand sportscasters, dude. Any NFL, NBA, whatever analyst. I'll give hockey analysts a tip of the cap. They do the best job out of any sport. God, I fucking hate the bandwagons that you see on television. These guys aren't fans of these teams. They hop on the bandwagon, they ride because they're hoping to garner some sort of favor, get personal relationships with these players so they can advance their careers. These guys don't know, oh, I'm the biggest Chiefs fan there is out there. Is it blah, 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 blah. Like fucking Nick Wright or whoever it is on fucking Good Morning America or whatever the fuck that dumbass or fucking ESPN
don't talk about my
shows.
boy Nick right now. Come
No,
on,
dude.
now.
Nick Wright is.
He's just a massive Chiefs fan.
You talk about
He's
fucking.
hated.
He's not. He's a massive fucking bandwagon fan, is what he is, and it's disgusting to me. Everything about him is disgusting. His greasy hair. He has a bigger nose than Trevor Lawrence. Fucking can't stand.
That might
it.
be true.
Thing fucking touches the camera when he looks at it. It's terrible. And he's one of the worst offenders of just hopping on bandwagons and then being like, I called this. I called it. Yeah, well, if you call everything ever, yeah, you're going to get things right.
I can see that. But that is also us typical Chiefs fans. I mean, I've been like
Not
this
picking
all
on
my
just
life.
Nick Wright, though. All the fucking, every self-proclaimed NFL
I agree
analyst
with you.
outside of Scott Van Pelt, who is a real one.
The best. Yeah, absolute real one. He's although they seem like they could be the same age because he's bald. But you know, I'm also young and bald.
SVP also.
He's like our Chris
also,
Berman, dude. He's the guy you want to
dude.
watch now.
Also respected about McAfee. Okay, he openly roots for the Colts, the team he played for. Sometimes does,
but he also spits facts. He does still say the Colts are winning the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah. Sometimes can be a little much, can be a little heavy-handed on the Colts stuff. We'll say that he focuses mostly on that, but that they're local to that area, completely understand, and he brings the energy at least. But God, these other guys are they're gaslighters. They just try to piss people off. They just want famous friends and bigger contracts. Anyhow, I digress.
I agree.
I'm just can't stand them.
The only other things I have to say about this, our next 5 games, very important. We've got the Commanders who look weak on Monday night. Then we go to the Bills. It'll be interesting to see what the Bills kind of do in the next couple weeks here. Then we have the Broncos who are supposedly the best in the West right now. And then the Colts and then the Cowboys. The Colts and the Cowboys really to me are 2 good games because the Cowboys can be surprising to me. They have a good offense, and we'll see how good our defense is. And it's the same with the Colts. The Colts are riding very big on Jonathan Taylor and opening up an absolute fucking game for Indiana Jones. These next 5 games, I think, determine whether or not us Chiefs fans are delusional about the past couple wins on if we're going to win the Super Bowl. I think the Lions game was great. That was a real true test. And we shut down all phases of their football. But can we do it again? And that'll determine what kind of fan I'm going to be for the rest of the year, and how loud I could get. But those 5 games I think are big. And then to finish off for us, we got Texans, Chargers, Titans, Broncos again, and Raiders again. So those games are just at that time. If we're on a high, we're not stopping. We could win out for the rest of the year, for all I know. So good game though. Very very happy about that. I think it's our hopefully only 1:00 game. It's very weird to watch our team at 1:00. But that's what happens when you play a dog shit team like the Raiders. And then speaking of the Colts, they absolutely destroyed the fucking Chargers, and I love it. Every game the Chargers lose, happier I am. And fucking dude, this is a scary one. This is a game I can't wait for the Chiefs to go into. The Bills don't look scary right now. The Colts look fucking scary. And Pat McAfee might be onto something. They might be going to the fucking Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, if you say it every year, once again, it could be your thing, but consistency is key. I do the same thing with the Bengals.
And this team is consistent. Daniel Jones, almost 300 yards, 2 tutties. Jonathan Taylor, 3 tutties. Their top receiver, Alec Pierce, AP. Pretty sure this was the guy that fumbled the ball, lost them their one game that they lost. Has 98 yards on 5 receptions. Like, this team looks good. Now, to be fair, Chargers are beat up bad. But, they were the second coming of Jesus when Harbaugh took over that team. And Justin Herbert is one of the best in the game. I mean, this motherfucker had to throw 55 fucking times, but got 420 yards, but also threw 2 interceptions. So, the Colts have every reason to ride high right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts are just steamrolling the league right now. If they're catching teams at a good time, it's not there. They didn't make the schedule. It's not their fault. If the Chargers are, hurt right now, they don't get to choose what week they play the Chargers.
They have a pretty the best teams that they're going to play for the rest of the year are the Chiefs and the Seahawks.
The usage
and maybe Pittsburgh.
The usage of one Jonathan Taylor is the only thing I'm worried about. If you're running him 15 to 20 times a game, he could be that guy, but he has had injuries in the past that I don't necessarily know that they're workload related, but at some point you might need to put a game plan together to cut him some slack.
I agree with you, but this was kind of the concern when the big contract came up. I think he was, you might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, Jonathan Taylor was kind of the start of getting these running backs paid, right? And it was like, well, we're just not doing that anymore because you guys have a short lifespan when it comes to the NFL. And this was obviously a concern of like, why would we pay you so much money when we can just go get a young buck? But they did pay him. And now are we on the train of look at this team that we're putting together right now? Our one loss comes to a fucking dumb fumble in the end zone after basically throwing a touchdown. It's game over. Is this where maybe you say, fuck it, and you have those conversations with Jonathan Taylor and go, we're going to run this fucking thing until we can't run it anymore because we have a legitimate fucking shot here and your years are numbered anyways. You got 1 or 2 years left anyways. You want a ring or do you want to fucking survive for a couple more years?
Yeah,
Which way do you want to go?
I think if you're the Colts, you have to do that. Like if you're going out there making the game plan, you have to just run him into the ground. I'm just saying, like, you're gonna hedge as a fan base. Like if anything happens to him, the first thing people are gonna bring up is the fact that he had an enormous workload.
Yeah. Andrew Luck, when did he retire? 2019. So this is by far their best team since 2019. They've made the playoffs a few times. They've done a few things here and there with quarterbacks aging completely out. It was where quarterbacks went to die, except for Carson Wentz, who's somehow still alive. But Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, all these guys have been there. And they have not had they draft a guy who they think is going to be the future, who's one of the worst quarterback drafts. He might be worse than Johnny Manziel as far as drafting quarterbacks is concerned, with AR, Nancy Richardson over there. But since 2019, this is their best team. And this is their best shot they've had in a very long time. And I think if I'm the Colts, I'm putting it all on the fucking table. What do we need to do to win? We run through Jonathan Taylor? Fine. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the good thing is that they're putting up 1 billion points a game, and they're doing some of that through the air. So it's not like it's all their entire offense is predicated around the run, but it's not like all predicated around like screen pad. They don't have as much in the basket as like, let's say Alvin Kamara did circle like 2017. Holy God, I was having a stroke there. Where he was just the entire Saints offense.
I mean, 16 carries isn't a massive workload. You got 94 yards, a lot of short yardage, I imagine.
I think it's a lot.
I mean, back in the day, I used to say, and this was even with Andy Reid at the helm, if you did not run Jamal Charles 20 to 25 times a game, we're not winning the game. And it was, you can go back and fact check me immediately. If he ran 20 to 25 times a game, we won. If we didn't, we lost. And sometimes that's just what you need to do. And that's the unfortunate part about that running back position. You need to understand that if you want to be a running back in this league, you've got 4 to 6 good years if your body can sustain that. After that, you're a third down back like a Kareem Hunt, or you're whatever it is that you are. I mean, Kareem Hunt apparently kind of gets to make his own determination of when he goes in the game, according to Andy Reid. But like that's where it's at. So Jonathan Taylor's at the tail end of that 4 to 6 year span. And now is the time. You've been through your injury.
25. I just did some quick Googling, so this could be a wrong stat, but according to like the quick AI overview, the team average, which includes all running back and quarterback runs per game, is 25 carries a game. So, I mean, I guess it's a good thing that he's not getting all of those. Maybe I'm thinking about it too much. I just see the number and I'm like, seems like a good amount. But if he's not taking a beating, then I guess it doesn't really matter as much as I may have thought it did. But it's just something that I'd be careful about if I were the Colts.
I mean, the production is there, the yards per carry are there. I mean, just to kind of, go back to your thing about Saquon Barkley, they ran him 18 times, but he only got 44 fucking yards. So I don't know. I'm liking the Colts.
Was supposedly the best offensive line in football, Saquon
Right.
Barkley, by the way. So that's what I'm saying. That it's a big problem for Philadelphia. But the Colts, I mean, you got to think that they're the favorites to win the AFC at this point.
Yeah, again, that's why I said those next 5 games are pretty important for the Chiefs. Like, they're kind of must wins, and if they do come out winning, they will, I think, easily emerge as the favorite. For not even just AFC, but possibly the Super Bowl based on the way the AFC has kind of been over the last few years. But
Chargers are fine, by the way. They need to get healthy.
They just need to get healthy. I like the competition. I love to see them lose, but I also like the competition. So hopefully they do.
I mean, they get next 3 Vikings.
I'd rather
Vikings, Titans, Steelers. So like Vikings, Steelers might be pretty challenging games if they're hurt, but the Titans, so you're getting like 1 out of the next 3 for sure. Almost you have to expect. So
yeah, I mean, if you told me you got to look at these 2 faces or one of 2 faces for the next couple of years, forever or whatever. If you put up Justin Herbert and Bo Nix, that's a goofy looking fuck. He's got like spiked hair. I mean, what is this, 1999? I don't know what he's doing there with his shit. I'd rather look at Justin Herbert all day long. I don't know. It's just me. Weird comment that I made there. But yeah,
Colts Packers Cardinals. So let's talk about the Packers
Cardinals. Dude, the Packers kind of suck. This is a close game.
They have cooled off. They started off as obviously the hottest team in football through like the first 3 weeks, I say, and then they have certainly backed off of that and cooled off tremendously.
I mean, this is a 4-point win against Jacoby Brissett, which, let's be fair, I don't think Jacoby Brissett is by far a bum. I think he's had some down luck throughout his career. I don't think he was ever going to be a top quarterback.
I think it's a more productive offense with Jacoby Brissett in there. But,
100%. But the Cardinals, they're a few plays away, though, at the same time. Because all their games that they've lost, all 5 of them are 1-score games. So they're a few plays away in each of those games from being up there with the rest of their division right now. So I think the NFC is going to get real interesting here, and especially in those 2 divisions between the North and the West there.
I think this is what lets the Lions back in, though, is like how on edge the Packers are playing a lot of these games.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, Lions fans should be pretty happy considering. Yep. Got a positive outlook on it.
I didn't watch too much of this game. How about you?
The Cardinals-Packers game?
Yeah, I think I caught the end of this one.
I didn't watch any of this game.
Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I don't even remember seeing Brissett, so maybe I didn't either. I did watch part of it because part of me, I thought about doing some sim racing Sunday night. Mm-hmm. And I was like, either it's going to be hit up Matt and be like, yo, you want to celebrate that victory and do some sim racing? Or it's going to hit up Matt and say, hey, want to take it out on the track. And right. This came down to the wire. This is a very, very close game. But, congrats to the Packers. They still lead the North at 4-1-1. They got that little tie in there.
Yeah. And this is kind of part of the issue with ties. I don't think a tie, like, it shouldn't give them an advantage here. Tie's embarrassing.
I agree. The funny thing is they tied the team that won the next game. Cowboys clobber the Commanders. What are
Yeah,
your thoughts on this one?
they-
Because the Commanders just don't look good right now, and it is surprising. It's
Um,
alarming, actually.
So my personal thoughts on this game. One, the Commanders secondary, which was holding up fine for the beginning of the season, and I think that this was supposed to be one of their weakest points on the field. And I think that coming into the season, a lot of people thought it was going to be absolutely dreadful. And it just was not going to be a great time for the Commanders. And they were going to have to win all shootouts. But they held up for the first few weeks, allowed them to win some games and, played well defensively. But that secondary has deteriorated into what I believe the fan base was worried about. I think that as a result of that, their pass rush looks bad, which just makes that means that they look bad on all phases on defense. But I think it starts with the secondary. You got to keep coverage. I think that any team that gives up 44 points I would say is an anomaly of a game. Like, teams just don't score that professionally. So this was obviously a good game by the Cowboys. I think you have to think of it like that. I know the Cowboys, you're talking about the number one offense in the league, and they're also having a good day. But you have to stop something, right? So if you're the Commanders, you come into this game, you have to stop something. You have to stop the run, you have to stop the pass, you have to stop one of the guys, and kind of everybody feasted for the Cowboys, which is what you can't have, right? Like, Javonte Williams can't have 116 yards at the same game that CeeDee Lamb has 110 yards, and George Pickens is up there with 82 yards, but impactful yards. Jake Ferguson's catching 2 touchdowns, so they're beating you in the red zone. They're beating you in the big play zone, in the big play market. So, like, if you're allowing big plays, you're soft in the red zone, allowing touchdowns in the red zone and not field goals. It's just not, the day is not going to go how you want it to go. And it did not go how they obviously wanted it to go. I think it was a failure on a lot of phases. Obviously, you have Jaden Daniels getting hurt. Listen, Jaden Daniels is not God. If you're a Commanders fan, he is not the omnipresent football player. He can't play all the phases of the game. He can't play defense. He also can't score on every play or on every drive on his own, right? Receivers have to catch balls. They have 5 receivers out, their top 5 receivers, and then the ones that they do have in get kind of locked down a bit, and it's just not a great day. The running game is not getting going the way that you would want it to get going. They still managed to put up 22 points with the lack of depth that they had, and with Jaden Daniels going out with an injury. I mean, I think the expectation that Jaden Daniels is shouldering for the franchise is ultimately going to get him injured to a point where he's not going to be able to come back in like a week or two, like where we're talking a season-ending injury, God forbid a career-ending injury, but like just something similar. You're going to get him RG3'd out of the building, basically, if you expect him to come in and win the game on his own. He can't do it. He needs help. You're going to have to be a little bit more patient. Like, I know last year you made it to the NFC Championship game. You're riding that momentum. You're feeling really good about yourself. Terry McLaurin is injured. He's also just not the same guy when he's on the field after those contract disputes. Like, he's just not that guy this year that he has been the past few years. Maybe you just squandered the best years of his career, or maybe he got the bag and he just doesn't give a flying fuck anymore. I don't know. But, you have the Noah Brown guy. He's just not catching balls. He can't fucking get his hands on them. Can't get his paws on them. Luke McCaffrey he's not going to be a number 1 receiver in the league. He can't be a number 1 receiver in the league. You have this guy Jalen Lane, who you expect to come in and just be
I've never even heard of this guy, by the way.
Yeah, and
that's the first time I've ever seen his name.
The fan base expects him to come in and just be a guy and like roll over people. Like, has it happened? Sure. It's maybe happened a couple of times. Like, we're talking Randy Moss, we're talking Calvin Johnson type players. There's single digit number of those guys in all of history. So, I mean, you're talking about your second leading receiver was a guy named Chris Moore. Who is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
any of these guys.
Who are we talking about? You have Robbie Chosen that you signed to the practice squad just last week. You're bringing him up. I mean, Marshawn Lattimore has regressed, or he's on the decline. So I wouldn't even say he's regressed. He's probably progressed, just more towards retirement than towards back on the field. it's just one of those things where it's like you just don't have the horses right now, and you got to protect your assets. You got to protect Jaden. You don't send him out there and have him diving headfirst into fucking tackles and running all over the field and trying to like make plays. Like, you have to have the understanding that like, hey, Jaden, we don't have our horses. We don't have the guys right now. We can't go and put our lives on the line to win these games. You're not winning the Super Bowl. You're not getting to the bowl. At this point, you got to protect your assets, and you need to look at maybe moving some of these older guys. Certainly, I would think about moving Terry McLaurin with this fucking contract that he's gotten himself into, and the fact that he can't even be bothered to play in a single fucking game this season. And when the like what 2 games he did play, he just fucking couldn't catch ball, couldn't run a route, couldn't participate in any team activities that day. I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on there. You got to do something with your backfield, right? You can't have 8 running backs, right? You either commit to Bill Krosky Merritt and maybe keep McNichols as a change of pace back or Rodriguez as a change of pace back, but you can't be running 4 or 5 fucking running backs. You got to let him go and pick a guy. You have to stabilize this team a little bit. You have to stabilize the offense. You have to bring in some young talent on defense because, you know, Luvu, he doesn't look like he looked like last year. He's not getting, you know, the pressures. He's not exerting his will. He's not showing dominance like he did last year from the defensive perspective. You might need to bring in some more edge rushers. You might need to find somebody who can run up the middle. You just need to find a couple of guys, and it's probably through the draft. You're probably not going out and getting these guys if you want to spend the money, but aging stars or aging players who used to be good, if you're the Commanders, you're not looking at those guys because you're not in win this year mode. You're in win maybe the next 2-3 years, right? You're hopeful for next year. You're likely looking 2 years out. And then if you're not there in 3 years, then you're looking at recycling everything. You know what I mean? Like, you're just, because you're losing so many people at that point. So you really need to focus on that 2-year mark. You want to finish out the year strong, but you also want to keep everybody healthy. You want to look into next year and say like, hey, okay, we have these assets. We protected them this year. We need to go into the draft. We need to go into free agency. We need to find some younger guys, some talent, something to put around these guys so that we have a fucking shot next year. And then you just kind of build on that, right? For 1 or 2 years. I think that's where the Commanders are at. And I think they're in real danger of getting their best player and playmaker in the future of their franchise, Jaden Daniels, in a lot of fucking trouble if they just keep tossing him out on the field with these types of game plans in these types of situations.
Yeah, I feel like just for starters, I feel like you're more passionate about this franchise than your own. That was an extended cut version there. I agree with you.
I'm more passionate about the Bengals. I'm just like, I gotta play it cool on the Bengals, right? Like, I can't go heavy into the Bengals shit, dude. We just won a game. Like, I'm kind of fucking excited. Like, we're the best team in the league right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Jaden Daniels was so good last year because of a lot of smart football, having the right players surrounding him, and they failed to do that this year. And I agree with you. This team is beat down bad, and then you said it best. The head first dives on the field, like, we can't be doing that. We said it last week. It looks like that trade for I can't even remember his fucking name now. I don't even think he plays for a team anymore. That running back that they traded away, it's still looking like Brian Robinson. Fucking trade. Brian Robinson
plays for the 49ers, still does nothing now because Christian McCaffrey is just dominant.
Yep. And Christian McCaffrey.
Kind of going back to that, I think that I am passionate about this because I hear so much from both individuals that I like and don't like in real life, like interpersonal relationships with Commanders fans. And it's like, these are the things that, like, I can objectively look at it from the outside. I'm very much subjectively and incredibly biased towards the Bengals. It's hard for me to diagnose those things in the midst of the season because I'm still wrapped up in the emotion of it. After the season, maybe we're looking at a lot of rants like this, right? But during the season, it's just impossible, dude. I'm riding the wave too much, and I think that's what fans should do. If you're invested in your team, You should be riding the wave during the season. And if, you know, somebody wants to come in and feed you the fucking speech that I just fed Commanders fans, like you just like nod at them, like put your thumb up and be like, yeah, we'll see, man. And like have your own like delusional thoughts, because that's what you are as a fan. But like if you're outside of the franchise, you get to say shit like that, right? Like I get to have that rant and be like, see, I was right. It's not that other people couldn't come to that conclusion. It's just they're in the midst of this season. They're fighting, they're scrapping for their lives right now, especially their like emotional, mental well-being, being a fan of a franchise that's like on the cusp of something great, but just not there yet, you know?
Yeah. Just kind of put a bow on this game. You know, meanwhile, Cowboys are cooking.
Number one offense in the league, dude. It's pretty impressive what they were able to do without CD, because, you know, you would have assumed that they would not play well without CD. I mean, at least I would have assumed that they would not play without CD, and I think that they played well without CD. I not only think they played well, I think they got better without CD, and now that he's back, they're even better than that.
Yeah, I agree. There was reports out that
their
came
defense
out,
still
I
sucks,
think.
Though.
So with that being said, they've got to again, once again, not have players get concussions at home. And then there is a report out there that they have made calls for Max Crosby.
Isn't he out for the rest of the season?
Crosby? No. He was hurt during the Kansas City game, but this is a guy that doesn't go out. So they might have found their Micah Parsons.
Being around the Bengals wire, I also heard that they came calling about Trey Hendrickson as well.
Interesting. I'd rather have Max Crosby, but
yeah.
Hey, anything to get him off the Raiders, I'm good with. You know, if somebody can make it happen, I'm happy about that.
Apparently, Jerry Jones loves himself a white. You know what I mean? Like fucking.
Yeah. Micah Parsons, get that guy the fuck out of here. But you know, Max Crosby though. Anyways,
something about that guy.
Something about him. Falcons look bad again.
We'd love the entire right side of your offensive line for Trey Hendrickson.
Yes. Yes. I had to put it. I was like, what did you just say? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think the left side of their offensive line has been getting Dak fucking murdered all season, but I'll take their right guard and right tackle.
Falcons, 49ers. Fucking Shanahan does it again, huh?
Jesus Christ, dude. Like, what? It seems like we have this fucking conversation every week where it's just like, God, I have to eat crow on this.
5-2. Christian McCaffrey, the leading rusher and leading receiver.
This was a bad game by the Falcons. They should have won this
Falcons game. Looked really bad.
They should have won this game. Their defense, I think it shows glaring deficiencies in their defense, and this is why the Bucs are going to win this division, even though the Falcons could have won it and made me look like a fucking Nostradamus. Not a big deal, though. Yeah, man. Fuck, dude. Penix looked terrible. Yeah. His stat line it's not like as terrible as he looked, but just out there watching him, it just didn't look good.
I agree.
Christian McCaffrey might be the best football player ever.
I also agree with that. I mean, the dude is a fucking animal. And I mean, it's one of those things like, you know, this is a player I don't have any hate, but if somebody's like, man, fuck Christian McCaffrey, like we have to appreciate sometimes what some of these players are fucking doing in this league.
Think about
he's one of them. When he's healthy, this guy is an absolute fucking nightmare to deal with.
He's White Barry Sanders, dude. It's fucking nuts.
I mean, no matter what you do with him, you throw the ball to him, he's got it. You fucking tell him to run the ball, he's got it. I mean, you want to talk about production, 24 carries for 129 yards and 7 receptions for 72.
Over 200 all-purpose yards, and like
insane.
He was doing it before the 49ers. This isn't a scheme thing, ladies and gentlemen. He was doing it on the Carolina Panthers. Fucking terrible team.
Meanwhile, on the other side, what's crazy is just last week, Bijan was heralded as the best guy in football right now. And he doesn't do shit against a fucking defeated defense. Like, this defense for 49ers is also not good. There's a lot of injuries around this league, and 49ers are no stranger to that. And Bijan couldn't get over 40 fucking yards against them. And just last week, and he showed it last week. I'm probably one of the top guys in fucking football right now. And this team, again, it's a weird fucking and beautiful thing about fucking football. It's just every week you never know what's going to fucking happen.
Well, Bijan was their third leading receiver, and he did score a ton. His runs, they didn't have an efficient running game last night. This game, they weren't good on the ground, but they weren't good in the air particularly either. But Bijan did score their only touchdown of the game, so I mean he's kind of what they got. But 2.9 yards a carry is not going to do it. They were able to just load the box and just say like we'll give you, we're going to make you beat us with your arm. And Michael Penix said, I will take that challenge, and
fail.
He got Nickelodeon slimed, dude. It was not great. I mean, I just don't know what you would call it at this point, but he needs some development in that area, I guess. I will say this a million times. I think I said this to you while the game was going on. I think we were in Discord when the game was happening, and something about watching a left-handed quarterback never looks quite right.
Yeah, no, I hate it. It's one of the ugliest things I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Even like Michael Vick gets he gets a half pass because he was side arming a lot of it, so some of his throws look cool. But like watching like more of a traditional throwing motion on a left-handed quarterback is like one of the most like dreadful things you can watch.
I think I want to go back and watch some Steve Young. Let's see how he did it, because I genuinely don't remember.
I don't know, dude. He might have also been awkward, but it's just like I'm not of that generation.
Yeah. Odd. Falcons got to turn around, and defensively, like you said, they look weak, but yet they have a defensive-minded coach who came from the fucking 49ers who, has been able to work wonders, and that game was not it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, once again, you got to look at it as just one game. Got to look on to the next game, not dwell on it too much. If you're the Falcons, you look at it, you still have a very talented roster. You can still win games. You can still be in the playoffs, and that's really what the goal is. Yeah, just got to go to the film room and take some lessons learned and move on, because this was just like a game that you were just from the looks of it, they were never going to win it. Didn't have a chance getting off the bus, as they say.
Yeah. I will, I'll let you disagree with me here, but we had, unfortunately, 2 fucking Monday night games again. So I don't disagree with that. I fucking hate 2 Monday night games. Let me tell you the thing that I liked about this.
God, I love the earlier start time game. The late game is dreadful, but God, I love when they move the fucking timeline up on the early game.
The disagreement was actually going to be Seahawks continue to roll, and Texans are dog shit this year. I don't know what's going on with that team. They get more injuries this week. That was a snooze fest, honestly. The Texans just look really fucking bad, and I don't know what happened to Stroud.
Good thing it came on at bedtime, you know what I mean?
Right, so nobody watched this game. The game everybody did watch, though, I thought this game was going to be much closer, and I'm actually extremely disappointed in the outcome. Because the stat lines between the two quarterbacks almost even, but the difference is Jahmyr Gibbs might be the best player in football. I mean, we've got Saquon Barkley apparently was like, you know what, it was fun last year, but there's some other dogs out there, and Jahmyr Gibbs, and then you mix in David Montgomery with him. Those two guys are a handful, and I truly don't know. And it could have been an anomaly. How the fuck did Kansas City stop this offense? We have a good defense, but they normally heat up later in the year. If this was a later year game, I could see us like, yeah, we could stop this team. We stopped it pretty early, and this they're fucking incredible.
I think you caught him.
I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is insane.
Yeah,
let's not say that. We beat the shit out of them.
It's pretty. It's a little nutty. This is a big disappointment game from the Bucs. But it allows my Falcons pick to stay relevant,
Yeah, Baker also threw for 50 passes, 228 yards. So he was actually who did we talk about earlier with that? Had 50 passes. Was it Bo Nix? Yeah, Bo Nix. So Baker actually looked worse than Bo Nix.
Baker did seem to be having an off night. The Bucks defense couldn't stop anything. Jahmyr Gibbs, let's not forget, also 82 yards through the air. They didn't have to involve, like, Jamison Williams, 0 receptions, 0 yards. Sam Laporta, 3 receptions for 15 yards. You know, David Montgomery, 2 receptions for 18 yards, 13 carries for 21 yards. Like, these guys were not actually really involved in the game, right? So you're taking 3 weapons that they use on a pretty consistent basis, especially in Laporta and Montgomery. Jameson Williams, they said that they were going to try to get him involved more. I've yet to be seen. But with Williams, Laporta, Montgomery, like, those 3 guys basically not involved at all. So it was pretty much just Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So you just use your 2 top dogs and you just beat the fuck out of the Bucks.
Yeah, I think the good thing that comes out of this game, because every team needs it. I don't know how you ever felt. It's obviously like, if you're a fan of the team, you fucking hate it. But sometimes you got to be fucking humbled. And the Bucks have been riding really fucking high. Yeah. And I think this was a humbling game for them, because at the end of the day,
lose Mike Evans too. So let's RIP.
I mean, yeah, they're struggling. They still have Ibuka, who was their second leading receiver. Cade Otton, thank God, because Brock Bowers has been terrible. So I put Cade Otton in, and he's our lead receiver. So he gets me some fantasy points there. But we saw this last year. Without their top 2 guys, they were able to get it done, and they have another top guy in Emeka Ibuka. Mm-hmm. But this is a very highly possible, at the end of the year, either playoff or even or NFC championship matchup. And this is a game that I think
it's a likely playoff game. I think it's pretty likely.
Yeah, I agree. This is a game the Bucks needed. I just didn't think it would be this much of a difference. And it really came to that running game, so it's at least something they could fix. They held the passing to keep up with what they were doing on the passing side without Mike Evans, because he goes down. There's still no fucking, I can see his fucking face. Godwin. Who's our other typical leading receiver?
Chris Godwin.
Godwin, right? So no Godwin, right? Yeah, Evans out, looks like, for the season. If they get a good playoff run, he might be able to come back. Maybe he can come back for one more game so he can get his 1,000 yards. He'll need to do about 900 of them in that game. Yeah, which sucks. I love that for Mike Evans when he's doing that. I don't love that he's injured, but I love that record that unfortunately is going to end this year. But yeah, disappointing fucking outing from the Bucks. And I hope that this is a lesson that they can learn from and move forward, because I hate the Bucks, honestly. I just love Baker, and I love seeing Baker cook, and he did not cook.
I agree with you.
Do you have anything to say about this last game that nobody watched? You agree, Stroud? He looked frazzled, and he has all season long.
I'm a little worried about CJ, to be quite honest.
CJ, outside of the obvious Burrow, Allen, Lamar, CJ was the guy to come and dethrone Patrick Mahomes after that rookie season. He legitimately, like, Jane Daniels had a great rookie season. I can't really think of any other notable rookies that have come out lately, but CJ Stroud was the guy to possibly dethrone Mahomes as the guy of the NFL. Like, he looks so fucking good. Yeah. It's not there. Meanwhile, his Seahawks
rookie year was an anomaly, I suppose.
It was an anomaly for a whole list of reasons.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit crazy.
It's looking more like an anomaly, though, for sure, and not just like this is the next guy.
Yeah, I mean, Seahawks continue to roll. They have looked good. They continue to look good. JSN, I think, is the offensive player of the year right now. I'd say he's like in the MVP race, but that only gets awarded to quarterbacks. So
yeah, we know Mahomes is going to win that anyway. So
yeah, I think that JSN is offensive player of the year for sure. Should be in the MVP conversation.
It looks good. And I agree with you on the Darnold take earlier. I like seeing that. I like the quarterback redemptions. And I also like the ones that go and fail. But anyways, let's get into next week's picks. Let's get through this. We start off Thursday night.
Let's recap last week. So,
yeah, go ahead. Good.
Last week, just real quick, we had Steelers at Bengals. I had Steelers. You had Pitt. So that's, +1 for me. We both took the Jags, which was terrible decision. Both took the Panthers, Bears. I did take the Browns and you took the Dolphins for some reason. Don't know why. Both took the Vikings because we're just Eagles haters. Both took the Patriots because that was an easy game to predict. Both took the Giants because the Broncos are very sucky. Bucks at Lions. I did take the Lions. You took the Bucks, unfortunately. Both took the Colts, Packers, Chiefs, Commanders, Falcons, and the one that you got me on is I did take the Texans and you took the Seahawks. So at the end of the day, if we count these up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you are 32 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 32 and 29 on the season so far, and I am 1, 2.
You hit it yourself again.
What? Oh, you are 32 and 29 on the season. And I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am 30 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I am 30 and 30.
Hey.
Something about this is not correct because those two numbers don't equal.
Don't add up.
1, 2, 3. Oh, you are 31 and 29. I gave you one extra credit.
Gotcha. I'll take it.
So I'm one game back now. Have evened it up pretty evenly. So let's get into this week's picks and see if I can maybe complete the full comeback through. What is this? Our 5th week doing this?
It's like 7th or 8th week. We're going to be doing this as week 8 picks.
This is week 8 picks, but our 5th week, we weren't there for the first 2 or 3 weeks.
I don't think we were tracking the first couple weeks. You might be right.
Yeah. All right. So week 8, what game are we starting with?
Yeah, so Chargers are going to be hosting the Vikings. So it's Vikings at Chargers. Chargers are favored by 3 with an over-under of 44.5. This Chargers bounce back game. I hate to see them. No, you know what? Fuck that. Fuck the Chargers. Vikings by a mile, and the under.
What was the over under score?
44.5.
44.5. I'm gonna take the over, and I'm gonna hammer on the bolts on this one. I like the Chargers in this game. You like the Chargers in this game too. You're just a divisional hater.
Yeah. Yep. Bills at Panthers. Bills are favored by 7.5. Over under is 46.5. I'll take the over in the Bills on this one.
46.5.
Yeah, I mean that could be all the Bills in this game.
You think? Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills. I'm gonna take the under, just because I think the Bills win at like 24-10 or something like that. So,
I believe the Red Rocket is starting for the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the under then, but it's gonna be all Bills.
Yeah,
in my opinion, so I'm taking the Bills.
Jets at Bengals. Bengals favored by 6.5. Over under 43.5.
I mean, God forbid this is like the Jets like coming out party or like their like redemption week, but I'm taking the Gulls, the Bangies, and I'll take the over just because their defense will probably give up points for sure.
No, I don't think that's happening. I think I'm gonna take the under and the Bengals as well. Next game, Bears at Ravens. Ravens are favored by 6.5 in this one with the over under at 50.5. The thing is, so he was supposed to be in the facility yesterday and he was not. But that will decide on, he's got to be, right? If they got it at a 6.5 in favor of them. He didn't practice Monday. I didn't see shit about today though.
I'm going to take the Bears, and I will take the under if it's 50.5.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. The only way my mind changes is if they say Lamar is playing and he's good to go.
I just think the Bears are on a roll. I mean, I know that the Ravens had an off week, but the Ravens have some defensive things they need to work out. If they can start stopping teams, then they can start winning regardless of Lamar's health. They're also going to need to get Derrick Henry going in a way that they haven't been able to the past few games that they played. But yeah, I'm going to take the Bears because I fuck the Ravens. The exact same reason that you never pick the Chargers.
Yep. This might be a good one too if you are a bettor to go ahead and make a quick buck at this current line, because if Lamar Jackson does not start, I don't see how they win this fucking game. Next game is Browns and Patriots. Patriots are favored by 7. The over under is 40.5. I'm definitely taking the Patriots in this one. And I think I'll take the over on this one.
I can finally stop picking the Browns because, you know, they won a game. Remember, I was like, I can't see how this team isn't winning games. So I can pick
Patriots look really fucking good right now. That's just my thoughts.
The Patriots do look really good, but they're also the number 1 defense in the league. I'm taking the Browns. God, I'm going to eat my words, but I'm going to take the Browns just because it's a gut feeling. I have no evidence to back that up. And what did you say the over under was? It doesn't matter. Got to go
40.5.
Got to go under for the Browns to win. So I'm going to take the Browns in the under.
Okay, next game is Niners at Texans. I don't know what the sports books are doing here, but they have the Texans favored at 1.5, over under at 41.5. I'm taking the Niners to somehow fucking pull it off again against this terrible looking Texans offense. I'm gonna take the under on this as well.
I'll take the over in the Niners just to do something slightly different from you, but I will now never bet against the Niners unless they start a losing streak, unless they lose a game. I'm just not. I'll pick them every week until they lose.
Dolphins at Falcons. Falcons favored by 7.5, with the over under being 44.5. This is Falcons bounce back game against a really bad team. I'm taking the Falcons, and I'm gonna take the over on this one.
I'm taking the under on every Falcons game for the rest of the year, looking at how like weird their offense is. So I'll take the under, and I'm going to take the Falcons because I think the Dolphins are going to struggle to win any games for the rest of the season. I can't see myself picking them in any game.
Agreed on that. Next game is Giants at Eagles. Eagles are favored by 7, over under at 43.5. I think the Giants learned from their mistakes. They figured something out. It's going to be a scrappy divisional game, so I'm going to take the under, but I'm taking the fucking Giants.
I am actually also taking the Giants here because I think that this is a legacy maker for Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo. If they can pull this out, New York will erupt. It will be a big thing. And Philadelphia will just hate it. And there's nothing more that I love than when Philadelphia is upset about something.
We are on the same page. Bucks at Saints. Bucks favored by 4.5. Over unders at 46.5. I'm taking the over, and I'm taking the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take the Bucks and the over too, and it's not because I think that the Saints are going to score any points. I think that this is going to be like a redemption game for the Bucks. They might put up 50 points in this game.
I think that, I actually thought the opposite. I think the Saints might be able to score some. They're starting to figure some things out. I don't know why Kamara said I want to stay for this terrible fucking franchise, but, you know, he just wants to finish at home, I guess.
I traded him away in fantasy, so he'll have the game of his life.
There week. You go. Hey, so they're going to score some points. Titans at Colts. Do you want to guess the line on this one?
Yeah. I have to imagine it's a 16.5 point spread.
You're fucking close, but this might still be the biggest one we've seen yet. It's a 14.5 point spread on the Colts. Obviously, with the over under 46.5, I think this shit actually goes over. A lot of that being the Colts, and obviously I take the Colts.
I'm taking the Colts.
They might send Jonathan Taylor with this and still be up by 14.5.
This would be the game to do it, dude.
Yeah. Let him rest.
Not really a lot to talk about here.
Cowboys at Broncos. Broncos are favored by 3.5 with the over under 50.5. I'm going to take those boys, and I'm taking the over. Fuck the Broncos.
Yeah, same. Just because I don't like the Broncos and it's an AFC thing. Got to take the Broncos, or got to take the Cowboys, and I hope the Broncos all break their big toes. What did you say the line was?
50. The over under is 50.5. Line is 3.5.
Oh, the line's
In favor of the Broncos. The Broncos are favored in this game. If that doesn't tell you this NFL is fucking scripted, then I don't. Between that and the Demise Thomas shit, what else is there? How are the Broncos favored in this game? Because it's at Mile High. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Probably
people think they look good. They are not. I don't think they're a good team. I don't know what anybody's seeing. There are a lot of people saying the Broncos look really good. They're not. Go Cowboys. I might go buy a fucking Dak jersey tomorrow.
I'm gonna take the under in the game. I don't think it's going to be all that much of a score fest necessarily.
Cowboys about to throw 50 on them themselves. Packers at Pitt. Packers are favored by 3.5. Over under is 44.5. Based on the way these two teams are playing, Packers and the under.
I mean, Packers. I gotta imagine that Aaron Rodgers is going to want this one real bad, though.
It's in Pittsburgh, though. Honestly, I could almost see Pitt winning if it was in Green Bay. And him pull this dumb shit. I still own this place or some dumb shit. You know what I mean? But the fact that it's in Pitt, they're going to lose at home.
I'm going to take the Packers, obviously, and I'll take whatever the over is.
And then wrapping up our schedule for the week, we get to watch the Commanders go to Kansas City, and unfortunately not here, so I could go to the fucking game. Kansas City is favored by 10.5. Over unders at 47.5. I'm obviously taking the Chiefs. I don't know. I think the Chiefs could easily put up that amount of points themselves, but don't know that it'll actually happen. Do the Commanders score points with Marcus Mariota? Because it's looking like he's going to get the start. Jaden has a high ankle sprain. I
mean, I just don't think the Commanders have the bodies.
I don't think they have anything really. Yeah, not unless there's some weird fluke. Yeah, I think the Chiefs and probably the under on this one.
I'll take the over because the Chiefs might just put 42 up for no reason.
That's what I'm saying, but I don't even know if the Commanders. This might be another shutout week for us. The second of Mahomes' career.
I think the Commanders would be a little bit scrappier than that. I think they'll score like 17 points. Maybe
Make
10.
it fun.
Maybe
Make
14.
it fun because right now this game looks
maybe
boring
16.
other than me just enjoying the ride of a lifetime.
I'm gonna call it Chiefs 16-34. That's my calling my shot.
Okay.
I don't know why, but
cool. Well, that does it for us this week. I got nothing notable for the college side. Oklahoma beat a bad school. That's, we'll see how the rankings play out. I'm probably just like waiting now to see what happens towards the end of the year. But, buddy, we're almost halfway through. We're
almost
close.
halfway through. Kind of sad to say, honestly, but also kind of like one of those things where it's like I'm getting closer to getting Joe Burrow back. I'm getting
closer to seeing what kind of team we are.
Yeah, I kind of want to. Nope, I'm not going to do it. Might have a big announcement next week or a big prediction, not an announcement, just a big prediction next week. But I'm not going to do it this week. We'll see about it. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, it's a pleasure having you here. Listen to us talk about things that we think we know about. Don't forget to go follow us on TikTok and YouTube here. Subscribe. And I'll let Billy say goodbye to everyone.
All right. I appreciate everybody. We'll see you next week. Enjoy. Goodbye.
Goodbye.